by Storm Dennis, with heavy rainfall and high winds leading to major incidents being declared by emergency services in South Wales and in parts of England. In the last hour, authorities have increased the number of regions at severe risk of flooding, which means there is danger to life in 8 areas across the country. In total, there are more than 600 warnings in place. In a moment, we'll hear from our correspondent John Kay of a rescue in Tenbury Wells in Worcestershire. But first, Thomas Morgan reports from Pontypridd in the South Wales valleys.
Residents will never have witnessed anything quite like this. Their road turned river, cars submerged as Storm Dennis poured. Carolyn has lived here for years. She was rescued alongside her 96-year-old father, whose birthday it is today.
The only thing I've managed to save is his medals from the war. Ruined everything. I've lost everything. I got a photo here now. At the time, I just grabbed every towel, blanket I could find and pushed up against the front door, just thinking he was going to come in through the front door, because we'd already got sandbags there, because sometimes the flood floods a small amount with the drains. But as we were trying to block the front door, it was all pouring in through the back door as well, and there was nothing we could do.
Here in Nangarrow, just north of Cardiff, over 100 homes have been ruined by the rain. Rescue services have been here since 5 a.m, taking residents from their home to safety after Storm Dennis wreaks havoc across South Wales. After the Met Office issued its highest red warning for rain this morning, it was clear the Welsh valleys would suffer. At around lunchtime, a major incident was declared here. By then, though, Pontypridd High Street had already been underwater for several hours. Across South Wales, other communities like Precowel near Brecon have also needed the emergency services to help them to safety. The residents of Aberdillais near Neath were evacuated in the early hours as the River Neath burst its banks. As the day wore on, water levels began to subside, and some wanted to take stock of what's now their disaster site. Louise Bedgood's hair salon was on the end terrace of this wrecked street. All her hard work and her livelihood now ruined.
I've been here 6 years now, and I've loved every minute of being here. And obviously you can see the devastation at the moment, you know.
You can see kind of on the walls here how high it must have been at one stage, kind of.
This is the Ruby room now. All gone, you know. A lot of hard work.
There's nothing salvageable here, is
There's
there?
nothing, everything, we're going to have to get rid of everything.
Further weather warnings remain in place for wind and rain until tomorrow. Last week, Kira bruised the country. This week, Dennis has battered South Wales. Thomas Morgan, BBC News, in the South Wales valleys.
A race against time in Tenbury Wells tonight. The water still rising. The river team has burst its banks. One by one, rescue boats bringing people from their flooded homes.
It's going underwater slowly, the kitchen, the living room, so, but we've got the 3 dogs out, so that's all that matters.
It's shocking, never seen it this high up before.
Never
really
like
bad.
this.
No, never this bad.
So being carried by the firemen was rather inelegant, but anyway, I'm very thankful to them for collecting me.
Carol thought her house would be safe, but tonight she's one of more than 100 evacuees in this Worcestershire market town.
Our house is flooded completely up there.
Must have been terrifying to see.
Absolutely, yeah. I don't like water at all. And I'm not very good with my balance because of arthritis, so yeah, it was a bit scary. Yeah.
And what state is the house in?
Terrible. Wrecked, really.
How long have you lived here?
11 years.
Ever seen anything this bad?
No, never. No, I don't want to see it again. It's very upsetting.
These rescue teams are going to be working through the night, going down the streets from house to house, trying to find if anybody is still trapped inside. From the River Clyde in Glasgow to the far southwest of England, Dennis has been an unwelcome weekend guest in almost every part of the UK. vast areas overwhelmed by huge quantities of rainfall.
We are doing more and more than ever before in terms of investing in flood defences, protecting more homes than we've ever been able to before, but we are seeing a higher frequency of these sorts of freak weather events.
Absolutely terrifying. We could lose everything.
But Jules in Tenbury Wells says communities like hers need more protection.
They could have put non-return valves on the drains and stopped that. They could have built flood defences down there. They haven't done anything.
The government say they're doing more than has ever been done.
I think they probably are in big conurbations, but not round in little towns like this. We're last on their list of priorities, aren't we?
One more rescue. This time, the Tors family, including 16-year-old Winston.
It's quite scary. Just thinking you're going to fall off or something.
But they were carrying you nice and tight, right?
Yeah. You're okay.
You felt safe?
Yeah.
Tonight, they're on their way to an emergency shelter. And Tenbury Wells is pretty much cut off. John Kay, BBC News, Worcestershire.